Hi, this is Mrs. Frost. This is our weekly overview video for Language 7 for the week of November 2nd through November 6th. In this video, I will share with you our weekly overview, what's going on in our class, how to use the class locker, how to use some class notes, and how to check your grade in the class. Alright, so I'm logged in. You can see I'm logged in on the home page here. First, I want to show you the locker. So the locker is up here in the upper right. It's these set of boxes. If you click on this drop down tool, you'll see the word locker. In a K-mail today, I will send you this document called How to View Locker Documents. And you need to log into your course, then you go to Tools, Class List, you select me as a teacher, and then we can share documents back and forth that way. But I'll send that to you in a K-mail. In the meantime, in the locker, what have I stored in the locker? I've put 3 files in our class locker. One is Binder Resources, Module 2 Irony Tools, and the third one is Course Tools. So I'll click on the Course Tools one, and you'll see a variety of documents. It's opening. Some of those documents that you'll see in the class Course Tools would be how to post discussion posts, how to submit Dropbox, how to find past due items, how to set your time zone. I also have 2 other folders. Another one's called Language 7 Frost Binder Resources. In this folder, you will find different items that I use to share with you for your class binder. So the new ones this week are a point of view, a verb, and then also this punctuating quotations rules, which you'll see come up in a moment. Alright, so that's the new item. The next thing I want to, the locker, and where I'll store different documents to share with you. The next thing I want to remind you is that at any time during this class, you can go to your grade tab. Alright, and then once you're on that grade tab, you can see what the item that was graded is over here. You can tell what type of item it was. Was it a lesson check? Was it a discussion? Was it a portfolio? Was it an assignment? And then over here you can see what you earned on it, and then how many points it was worth, and your end grade on that assignment. If you see a 0, that's going to mean you didn't turn it in, and then that's a clue that you should turn that in. So please be aware that you can check your grade at any time in this course. It's never a secret. I'm going to go back to the class home. And then from here you can see this is where I'll post our video right here in the class news. And I'm going to go to the class plan to show you what we have going on this week in our class. Alright, so you can see that I'm in the week view for our class. If you want to go to a past week or a week in the future, you can use this calendar widget over here to just click on a date that you're looking for. You can see that this is Monday the 2nd through Friday the 6th. What you should do here is you should just visually come in here and look at this class and say, hey, what do I have going on in language arts this week, so that you know how to plan your time and schedule. Okay? So you can tell from here that on Monday you have 1 piece, which is just a lesson. On Tuesday you can see that you have 2 pieces. You have a lesson and a quiz, a lesson check. On Wednesday you have a lesson. Thursday you have some time to work on the rest of your fictional narrative. And then on Friday you'll be handing in your fictional narrative. And you have a lesson. Alright, so you should always start out your week by looking here. You should know that this is going to take you about 30 minutes on Monday, up to Tuesday taking an hour, and probably Friday will take you an hour and 20 minutes to complete your fictional narrative and submit it. Looking at your class plan on Monday using the class plan tools, not the content tools, not the content, the class plan will help you know how you need to schedule your time and your work for the week in language arts. Alright, so on 2.13 from Monday, you'll see it's called Be Consistent. There's a couple things I wanted to point out there. One, I wanted to highlight that it is 18 slides long. 2, I wanted to highlight that you need to know what consistency is. In writing, it means consistent in verb tense, point of view, and word usage. You need to know that to understand what the rest of the lesson is trying to share with you. There are 18 slides, but I'm going to move forward to number 4. and I wanted to point out point of view. Kind of funny, used to point out there. I made you a tool. I found a tool for you to use, and I'd like you to put this into your binder. Let me grab my camera. Point of view is the way that the story is told, either first person, second person, third person, so on and so forth. So what I have for you is a something for your language arts notebook called a point of view finder, and it has two parts. Okay, this is a document that you print and then you cut it out and you put the title up here, and then you have a foldable tool to remind you what each of the points of view mean. And what the points of view are: first person, second person, third person limited, and third person omniscient down here. And then you just fold it in and it stores it nice and handy dandy in your notes. There's a second piece to this. It's all about the pronouns, baby. How do you know what point of view something's written in? If you're taking a lesson check and it asks you what point of view is something written in, if you're writing and you want to know if you're being consistent like you're supposed to be, it's all about the pronouns, baby. If you're in first person, you're going to be using these types of pronouns to replace your nouns. Second person is going to be you, yours. And third person is going to be talking more he, she, it, them, they, their. So this is the first tool that I have for you today to create for your binder. All right, cool. The next part that I wanted to highlight in 2.13 is the verb tenses, and that's on slide 7. Okay, cool. And on verb tenses, I also have a tool for you to use. So when you're writing and you want to be consistent, you have to use the same tense. You have to always talk in present, past, whatever it is you chose. You have to pick it unless you're doing like a flashback or something. So here is a tool that you can use to help with the verb tenses, with the V verbs. And then here is a tool that you can create to show you an overview of the tenses and what they mean. That should also help with when should you use it. Alright, so next I wanted to point out on slide 12 that transitions, make sure you use transitions. In the locker you'll also find a transition word list for you to print and put into your binder. And then finally I wanted to point out 15. Let me go to 15. Keep your eye on the ball. So this just puts together everything from this lesson, that you want to make sure that you're deciding if your story is in past or present, and then keep it consistent. Again, unless you're doing a shoot forward to the future in your fictional narrative or a flashback. Do all your verbs stay the same? Are you sure what point of view you're even using? And have you used transitions? Alright, so next I'm going to go to back to our class plan, and I'm going to show you a couple highlights from 2.14. 2.14 is called Engage the Senses. Alright, so 2.14 is called Engage the Senses. As you can see, it's 24 slides long, so you should plan on sitting there for quite some time while you're going through it. And as you'll notice on slide 2 of this lesson, it starts talking about punctuating dialogue. You'll also notice right away that this punctuating dialogue goes all the way up to slide 13. That's why it's important. On the rubric for your essay, you're going to be asked to use dialogue in your writing, and you need to do so accurately. I made this handout for you to put into your binder. So as you can see, I'll show you mine right now. This is in our class locker, and all I did was take the notes from the course itself and turn them into a document that you can then put into your class binder to use as a resource. That way, when you're taking a lesson check, and it's a lesson check question on how do you know if a sentence is punctuated correctly, you can just flip back to your binder, open the rules for punctuating dialogue, and check. So you're creating this binder not just for more work, you're creating it so that you can use it to study and review and also use on your lesson checks. All right, cool. Next in 2.16, I wanted to highlight slide 23. And it is on adjectives and adverbs and a discussion post. So make sure you post it into the correct spot. I was about to say the wrong spot. That's funny, because some of them are not being sent right to the gradebook, and unless you tell me, I'm not giving you points on it unless you put it in the right spot. The right spot for this discussion post on 2.14 is to go back to 2.12 and use the thread called adjectives and adverbs. And what do you write about? You write about these things right here. If you want to see a sample, you look right here. That's a sample discussion post. All right, cool. Next, I wanted to point out in this lesson the next slide, which is slide 24, sorry. Okay, these are check your knowledge. If you're not able to answer these questions accurately, and how do you know they're accurate? Because you click on the answer. So you want to ask yourself this question, and then you want to pause and think, okay? You want to think about it for a while. You want to think, what's your answer? And then you click on this answer and check it. Then you go to this. When should you capitalize words in a dialogue? You want to stop and you want to think about it. You don't have to write your answer down. You can if you want, but think and have a clear answer. Don't just go straight to clicking on the answer, and then you check it. And then how do adjectives and adverbs enrich writing? You want to stop again and think about it, and then you want to check your answer. If you are not able to get these 3 questions correct, that's a sign that you need to go back to the lesson. In this case, we'll look at the last one. How do adjectives and adverbs enrich? You're going to go back to the lesson where it talks about adjectives and adverbs and review it. Then, if you are able to answer all these correctly, and by these I mean these right here, the check your knowledge questions, that's a clue that you're ready for the lesson check. To get to the lesson check, you can either go back to the plan or you can click this arrow, and then you can go into the lesson check itself. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the class home, and I'm going to go back to the class plan. And on Wednesday you're going to be working on a writer's workshop. It's a set of slides, and then you're going to be working on your rough draft of your fictional narrative. On Friday you have finishing touches, which are the finishing touches on your fictional narrative, followed by the Dropbox assignment where you are going to turn that fictional narrative in. Remember, the details on your fictional narrative are that it should be 1 to 3 at tops. 3 is the tops. The directions say 1 to 2 pages, and it can be double spaced if you want, double or single. And it's due by the end of the day on Friday the 6th. Alright, this is our weekly overview video. Please make sure you're on track and keeping up with your work. If you have any questions, let me know. And remember that you're expected to attend class. If you're not able to make a class, you need to call or email me. Thank you for your time.